All right, next we got AEW, what is it? House of the Dragon. They're promoting the damn HBO show, okay? They're promoting, I don't know, some show about incest. So, that's what I tell everybody. Games of Thrones is. It's just a show about incest. CM Punk comes out and the fucking garbage piece of shit that he is randomly starts calling out Hangman Page. Apparently this was not planned. He was just doing it to be an asshole. He starts randomly just shooting on Hangman, saying he's disrespectful and this and that. I'm like, who the fuck cares what you gotta say? Like I said, dude is toxic. He's just trying to make Hangman look bad. Why? Because Hangman's better than he ever is. Says Moxley was the third best member of any group he's in. I do give him credit. That was pretty funny. Like, I do hate this man with a passion, but I'm gonna give him credit where credit is due. That was a very good line. Moxley comes out. Moxley says he is not even the best wrestler at all. It's all in his mind. Moxley then hits him with the line of the year for me. He basically says CM Punk only came to AEW because he ran out of money, and I've been saying that. He supported himself for like 7-10 years. He probably was running low on funds and went, oh man, I know we're really stacking back up. A wrestling return. Big brawl breaks out. The brawl goes on for way too long. Like I like Moxley, you know, CM Punk's a bitch, but this brawl went on for way too long. Then we got the best signing AEW's ever gotten, Bryan fucking Danielson. I really don't understand how any human sane person can compare CM Punk to Bryan Danielson. When Bryan Danielson has given us nothing but 5-star matches, he put over Hangman twice. He put over Garcia. He puts him over again in this match. Bryan has put over everybody you put him in the ring with, and has given us nothing but just classics. While this prima donna little bitch over here can't even take an L. The man hasn't even lost yet. But enough about that, baby. We got a 2 out of 3 falls match. Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Garcia. If you make them a tag team, they are Daniel Bryan. Jericho is watching the match. Nice mat wrestling by both men. Both men fucking got each other in a heel hook at one point. Garcia with the Danielson special, which they did not call on commentary. This commentary team needs to step up their fucking game. The whole night, Garcia's doing his moves, and they barely mention it. We get a Regal Plex by Bryan, which was also not brought up. Bryan with the Regal Stretch, that also wasn't brought up. I don't know what the fuck these people are doing. Saito on the outside by Garcia. Garcia starts giving Bryan his own elbows. Garcia then turns it into a triangle. So Garcia's in a triangle by Bryan. Bryan's given the triangle with the elbows. And Garcia ends up turning that into a pile driver. What the fuck? Then he locks in a hammerlock and a dragon sleeper, and he passes out Bryan again. He gets the first fall. 0-1. Garcia with a DDT on the concrete floor. Garcia with a reverse suplex into another dragon sleeper, trying to do the same thing he just did. Bryan rolls up Garcia for the second fall, though. Look at that. Barely squeezed by the second fall. Spider German from the top rope by Bryan. That move is so fucking dangerous, bro. Both men are now busted open. Garcia locks in the Dragon Tamer. That's his sharpshooter that he wrenches all the way back. That's the new name for it. Garcia starts using Bryan's moves, hits his drop kicks in the corner, Bukkake knee for a near fall. Bryan, I don't know, this motherfucker snaps into a fucking Kota Ibushi mode. He starts peppering this dude, like, I mean, eating Daniel Garcia with some elbows. Bryan locks Garcia's arms and then lights him up with headbutts, then starts kicking his head in. Bryan locks in a double arm label lock and then hammer fist his face. Locks Garcia back in the freaking label lock, and Garcia is out. Fantastic match. Garcia, I love this part where Garcia basically got murdered at the end. He's still trying to fight back. He's latching onto Bryan, and he's like, where the fuck am I? Bryan finally pays him some respect. Bryan is trying to get Garcia to join the Beatdown Clan. Jericho's pissed. He attacks Bryan. Garcia stops Jericho from attacking Bryan. The crowd starts chanting, "You are a wrestler," which I'm like, this is very good. It's very organic. and Garcia should have been in the fucking the Blackpool Combat Club from the beginning. But like, I don't understand why they put Yuta in there. You could have easily put Garcia, who's 100 times better and has more charisma. But this was very good shit. Moxley attacks Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. Another brawl breaks out. Mox wants to unify the titles tonight. CM Complains comes out and they start fighting again. The best part about this was Cesaro carrying Moxley around like he was a child. I thought that was hilarious. Varsity Blondes versus the Gun Club and Colt 45, and it's over. Done. I kid you not, 2 minutes. The Gun Club then betray their own father, Billy Gunn. They join up with Stokely Hathaway. The Acclaim come out. They save Billy Gunn. Then they join back up with Billy Gunn. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, you could have just carried on with the Ass Boy Acclaim thing for a while. I feel like they separated too early. They separated Billy Gunn from the Acclaim too early. I don't know what's going on here. Jungle Boy comes out, wants a match at All Out. Christian comes out, trying to apologize, get back in his good graces. Jungle Boy doesn't buy it. He beats the shit out of him. That match is going to be good. Those guys can work. That's what I'm saying. Jungle Boy reminds me so much of Christian. Jungle Boy reminds me of a young Shawn Michaels and Christian, and that's very good praise. We got the returning Kylan King. I always thought she was pretty dope. Versus Tony Storm. King tries to get a top rope Saito, but Tony ends up turning it around in midair with a splash. King with a spine buster for a near fall. Then Tony dumps King on her head with a German. Hip attack in the corner, and then I don't know why Tony's been using just random tornado DDT for a win, but I really hope this is not it. Then we get the main event, the reason I wanted to review the show. Andrade, Rush, and Dragon Lee, Facción Ingobernables versus the Young Bucks and the returning T-shirt turtleneck wearing Kenny Omega. Oh, goosebumps, man. It's so good to see Kenny Omega back. Like I said, my favorite wrestler of this, you would say my favorite current wrestler, you know. One of the best. I said from probably, I don't know, it was a tie-up really, between him and AJ Styles from 2014 all the way to like, not that long ago. I would say they were the best wrestler in the world. Like, I feel like if Kenny never joined AEW, he would have probably still been the best wrestler in the world. Like, that run in New Japan Kenny had was untouchable. AEW, to me, dimmed his starlight. That whole year and a half, they had this man jobbing out, and then he was in a tag team, and then they finally used him right. It was a mess. But it's good to see Kenny back. Like I said, he's one of the greatest wrestlers I've ever seen. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Bucks will hit all their double team moves. The crowd is going nuts for Kenny. You can't escape, but Kenny is playing up that he is rusty. Matt with his million Northern Lights suplexes. Nick flies outside with a splash to everybody, a corkscrew splash. This really should have been the finals of the tournament, honestly, because Andrade and Rush and Dragon Lee should not be losing in a first round match, but oh well, here we are. Because these are like some of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Like, Andrade is legit one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Kenny is like one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Rush is pretty high up there too. Dragon Lee's high up there, and the Bucks are pretty damn good. You know, they don't compare to the rest of these guys, but the Bucks, you know, are fucking fantastic. So it was a shame. Freaking super kick party breaks out. Kenny's going nuts, hits a Dragon Rush on everybody. Lord nasty buckle bomb to Dragon Lee where he gets kicked by both Bucks. Triple super kick to Lee. A Rise of the Terminator dive, but Kenny cannot do it. They're playing up. He can't do it. Dragon Lee then summons Andrade and Rush to sit Kenny Omega up on the guardrail. He hits his fucking disgusting... I don't know why Kenny would agree to take this spot. He should have done it to one of the Bucks. Insane. Andrade with his moonsault land and then moonsault for a near fall. Hammerlock DDT, but the Bucks save it. V-trigger to Lee. A big V-trigger on the rope. One sloppy looking one-winged angel. I don't know if he did that on purpose too. Andrade and then Rush then betray Dragon Lee. Take his mask off. That was dumb. They needed to keep this group together. But yeah, the return of Kenny Omega, the main event was great. But overall, I think the show was very. It's a 2-match show for me. 2 out of 3 falls and the main event. Everything else was kind of. Bleh. The brawls went on for too long. You brought back Kylan King just to lose Tony. Tony needs to stop doing that damn DDT as a finish. That pisses me off. But yeah, Kenny Omega's back. That's all I'm